Sometimes I would be walking in public and I'd always like I guess I would just always be watching myself, watching the things I do, watching the things um how I talk to people, how I walk, what my eyes be seeing, because I'm very vigilant. I just be watching everything, very vigilant of myself, and it's kind of because I'm aware of the fact that it's my movie and all the stories that are in my movie are nothing but stories. My relationships with my friends, my my wife, my my you know my career, all of those endeavors are nothing but stories within my realm, within my movie, and I am the main character, and everything that's happening to me is just stories. Because when I leave this realm, I will have stories to tell for the next realm. And when I leave that realm, I will have stories to tell for the next realm. And it's for me, that's the circle of life. Understanding that your stories, one, do not dictate who you are. Two, do not play a huge factor as to your success or your failures. What they are is essentially experiences. All the pain and the joy you have experienced throughout this life, this realm of yours, your personal movie, has been nothing but scripted story patterns that were meant for your matrix and your matrix only. So basically, everything that you saw with your eyes were meant for you. It was a story that was created for you to engage so that you can build up wisdom and build a character as you age within this realm. At least that's how I see it, you know. That's why birthdays are kind of nostalgic because it gets to a point where you stop celebrating your birthdays. You're just now nostalgic and you're bored. It's almost like the this life has sucked the joy out of you and the fun out of you to the point where you don't even want to enjoy your own birthday. But that in itself is a story used to create a timeline towards your inevitable death. You see, so that's how some people fear celebrating certain things about their birthday because they don't want to acknowledge that they're mortal and not immortal. But when you know what you are and who you are, and you are the one who's co creating these stories, you understand that you are forever immortal, even when you lose your body in this realm. Your energy transcends and ascends to higher realms or lower realms, depending on what sort of frequency you are operating on this realm, operating with your physical body. You can't worry about how and what other people are seeing when they look at you. You've got to understand that everything else is and everybody else are supporting characters to your story. They might come with love, they might come with adversity, but ultimately they're reflections of yourself helping and also coexisting to create your story whilst living in their movie too simultaneously. And that is the beauty of this matrix, this simulation, is that if I bump into Nana, if I bump into Fantasy Hill, if I bump into my brother, I am seeing another version of myself just living in a total different frequency. We could be in the same frequency in terms of, energy, but we're both living completely different movies. But he is a supporting character just as much as I am a supporting character to his or her story. So we are coexisting and co-creating how we view ourselves whilst watching ourselves. But when you understand these factors, pure pressure, you know, the need to fit in and have a whole group of people who don't care about you into fake friends, that illusion dissolves. It just disappears from your mindset and your frame, and you attract an eternal peace about you that is magnetic. When you're doing your own thing and you're not caring about your surroundings and your environment, it's magnetic because people are so caught up into the illusions of their stories, they forget about playing the game, living and enjoying their movie, understanding that they're the source of their problems and their blessings. Taking accountability of living this movie, living this realm, enjoying this realm. Take accountability for those things because who cares who's watching? Who cares if you're watching and micro watching everything you do? Who cares? All that should matter is what God thinks, what you think, genuinely, authentically. That's what it matters. And it shouldn't matter whether you win or lose. As long as your movie keeps playing, there's a whole lot of stories that are going to be involved. Question is, do you have the willpower and the wisdom to acknowledge them, accept them, and flow with them? Because once one story ends, another begins until the day you leave this realm.